This one is about, this is important, this is about the essence energies distinction, hesychasm, and how he basically dismisses it and says this is just kind of Eastern exoticism. He basically calls it navel gazing. Check this out.
You guys have heard of the essence energies distinction. It's a distinction that was kind of coined in the time of about the 14th century with Gregory of Nyssa, because he was accused of heresy because these monks would sit around and practice this sort of navel-gazing prayer technology in order to have mystical experiences of light. Of such a brilliant light that they said it was uncreated and that they're literally experiencing God. And so they were accused of heresy. So Gregory Palamas asserts this essence energies distinction so that he can say we're really experiencing God, not in his essence, but in his energies. And so that becomes the part of their whole system of salvation, is to be going through these mystical experiences until you can kind of have that experience. Church is kind of the exotic East. Just the whole notion of the exotic East. You guys, if have you ever heard of conservatives being called xenophobic? Xenophobic. Well, there's a kind of alternative to that for where people have kind of xenophilia, this kind of obsession with the stranger. And so when they see Christianity presented from outside, all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, I don't have to become Hindu or Buddhist or New Age or a Sufi Muslim or something like that. I can be Christian. And all of a sudden it's like they kind of get the best of both worlds. And so this kind of thing.
That is so, this is unbelievable. I'm going to go backwards here. Saying that Eastern, I hate that term, Eastern Christianity is exotic and it's strange, right? What part of Jerusalem do you not understand, Mr. Schooping? What part of Antioch do you not understand? Alexandria, Constantinople. This is unbelievable. How can you possibly call the ancient Orthodox faith exotic? As if Lutheranism is what it was written in the pages of the Bible and it just leaped out of the scriptures. This is so ridiculous. And then the essence energies distinction, which, you know, we could talk about hesychasm, talk about prayer. The essence energies distinction is an easy one, because if you believe God is unapproachable, the only way you can do that, the Catholics are just wrong here. You cannot say that people partake of the essence of God, because they would burn up. It's that simple. So you have to have some kind of philosophical distinction. Okay, I'm done. Yeah. I'm just gonna, I need my blood pressure medicine.
Well, I mean, and I would just point out, if you really want to dig into the essence energies distinction, Nathan Jacobs had David Bradshaw on his podcast on episode 2. They talk a lot about this. That distinction is not something that came up in the 14th century. It may have been articulated in a particular way for a particular argument by Palamas, but it's not a new thing. The language, especially behind it, is Pauline, at least. And actually, you see examples of this in Second Temple Judaism outside of Paul. So, like, it's just it's not a new thing.
Let me just say, so everybody understands, you have to look at an interlinear Bible to understand this, English readers, because what the English Bibles do, anytime the word energia comes up, they don't translate it as energy. They translate it as what? I don't even remember.
It's usually like working or something like that.
Work, right.
Yeah.
It's just, and if you just read it as energia, it makes total sense. I'm sorry, Josh, go ahead.
No, that's great. I mean, because essentially that often is read through Latin. So I think it's operatio, right? So the work instead of the energeia, and you start getting things a little bit confused. And you can start misreading things like Paul, where, he'll say like, yes, I planted and Apollos watered, but God gave the growth, right? Well, who did the work there? It's all of them. There's a synergeia, right? And he actually uses synergistic language there to describe what's going on in preaching the gospel, right? And you can clearly see that he understands things in that way more broadly than just that. We also see it when you have, talking about working out your own salvation, because it's God who works in you to will and to work according to his purpose, right? That's not monergism. That's not God doing everything. That's literally a working together. So,
and Saint Basil the Great speaks about essence and energies at great length, right?
Yes,
I think it's letter 35. I don't remember, but anyway, that's very important. But this is, to denigrate Orthodox prayer as navel gazing prayer technology. It's you are, I don't know. Anyway,
well,
I'm going to
let me just say, I can't think of a more Hindu way to pray than Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Like, what?
Right. Yeah. When you add all this up, I mean, he's basically saying that Orthodoxy is pagan. He's calling icons idols. He, or at least he's saying that we use arguments from idols. He's saying that we are navel gazers. It's tragic. All right.